ModFit LT's Synchronization Wizard, or Sync Wizard, is used to analyze data with perturbed populations. The Sync Wizard allows you to specify conditions for the analysis and constructs a model to match. Once the model is created, you can use the Sync Wizard to run through a set of files, adjusting the model as needed. We'll see how convenient it is to use the Sync Wizard to model synchronized or perturbed cell lines, for example, for which automatic analysis is not designed. Let's dig in. Start ModFit LT and click the File button on the toolbar. Navigate to the Synchronization folder under the ModFit LT Samples folder and open CHO074.fcs. This is the control population, and it will allow us to define the model characteristics. From the Analysis menu, click Sync Wizard and choose Create or Edit Model in the pop-up menu. Notice the tabs across the top of the dialog. These tabs are presented in the general order that you'll use to create the model. The Start tab lets you create or edit a model and also provides an alternate means to open a data file. The G0G1 tab displays your data file so that you can confirm the G0G1 peak location or tell the Sync Wizard where it is. The red cursor is positioned over the first peak it finds in the sample via the Peak Finder system. If you need to adjust it, or if the Peak Finder did not find a peak, click the red triangle and drag it over the G0G1 peak. You can also enter the G0G1 position directly in the edit box. If your sample files have a well-defined G0G1 peak and you want the program to find it, choose Adjust Automatically. The Sync Wizard will create a range with boundaries 8 channels above and below the control peak position and center it on the peak. If your G0G1 peaks shift from file to file, as long as they fall within this range, the program should find them. If the G0G1 peak falls outside the range on a given file, the Sync Wizard will prompt you with some options. If the peak is not clearly visible, or if you don't want the wizard to scan for the G0G1 peak, choose Lock the Position. This will keep the position and the standard deviation of the control G0G1 for analysis of the next files. For this series, we'll use Adjust Automatically. The G2M tab lets you tell the Sync Wizard what the G2G1 ratio is. The default value is 2. If you have a sample with a visible G2M peak, you can click the red triangle and position it over the G2M peak that you see. As you move the triangle, the channel position and the G2G1 ratio values update automatically. If you know the G2G1 ratio you want to use, you may enter it directly into the G2G1 ratio edit box. For this sample, enter 1.92. The model created by the Sync Wizard will multiply the G0G1 peak position and standard deviation by the G2G1 ratio to compute the G2M mean position and standard deviation. The position and standard deviation of the G2M peak are always dependent on the position and SD of the G0G1 peak. The S-Phase tab lets you select what shape you want to use to model S-Phase, how many compartments you want to use, and how to space them if you use more than one. Let's use the default setting of 3 equally spaced rectangles, making the model more conservative in S-Phase. A more conservative model avoids overestimating the S-Phase population. The Other tab has options for debris and aggregate removal if needed. Just check the related checkboxes. The default state of no debris or aggregates is fine for this example. The Report tab has options to let you fine-tune the information reported by the Sync Wizard model. Typically, you will want to see results for all the individual S-Phase compartments, the default setting. Click the Analyze button. The Sync Wizard creates the model you just designed, sets some ranges on the data, and fires off the analysis of the sample. Note that the S-Phase is reported both as a total percentage and for each of the compartments in your model. You'll also see a floating wizard toolbar. The first button on the toolbar, Analyze, lets you open and analyze a data file. The second, Edit, redisplays the Sync Wizard dialog so that you can edit the model. And the third, Quit, exits the Sync Wizard. These options are also available in the Analysis menu Sync Wizard pop-up. Let's run through several more samples to see how it works. Click the Analyze button on the Wizard toolbar. Open the next file. As soon as the file is loaded, the Sync Wizard analyzes it and the new results are displayed. We can also use the batch processor. Select all the files, and in the batch options, choose Fit with Current Model. All files will be analyzed with the same model for consistency, and all results may be directly compared. Let's see what effect a trapezoid S-phase compartment has. Click the Edit button on the Wizard toolbar, and on the Start tab, the Wizard has switched from Create to Edit the current synchronization model automatically. On the S-phase tab, change the shape to trapezoid. Adding compartments can give the model more flexibility in fitting S-phase, but with too many, you risk intruding on the trailing edge of the G0-G1 peak and/or the leading edge of the G2M peak. We'll stay with 3. Click Analyze. The sample is analyzed again, this time reporting on 3 trapezoidal compartments in S-phase. Note the somewhat better fit of the S-phase distribution. If you do make any changes, be sure to reanalyze your entire data series with the new settings so that your results have a consistent basis. When you're finished with the Sync Wizard, click the Quit button on the Wizard toolbar. The Wizard will prompt you to confirm, and choose Yes to exit the Wizard. The Synchronization Wizard is a tool designed to allow you to easily analyze samples with perturbed S-phase and G2M populations, but remember that it is limited by design to one cell cycle only. Thanks for watching.